The most important verse to understand is Daniel 9:27. It tells us two major things. Number one, the Antichrist is going to confirm a covenant with Israel. And number two, in the middle of the final 7-year period, he is going to stop the sacrifices and set up the abomination that causes desolation. Once the abomination of desolation happens, we know the Great Tribulation has begun. That is the final 3.5-year period. This time period is mentioned at least 7 times in the Bible. 2 Thessalonians 2 tells us that the Antichrist will stand in the temple and declare that he is God. Matthew 24 quotes Jesus saying, "When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, let the reader understand." The end of Daniel chapter 11 and all of Daniel chapter 12 really focuses on the end times. When the Antichrist stands in the temple, it appears that he's going to set up some kind of idol of himself and demand worship. The rest of this story picks up in Revelation chapter 13, where we hear about the false prophet. The false prophet does signs, wonders, and miracles, pointing back to the Antichrist. We also find out that the Antichrist has had some kind of mortal wound. Many people think that that's going to be a mock resurrection from the dead, where he's filled with Satan himself. In 2 Thessalonians 2, we also find out that everything that the Antichrist, also called the man of lawlessness, the son of perdition, the beast, and he's called a prince and a king in the book of Daniel, this man will be filled with power and miracles from Satan. We're also told that a strong delusion will be over the world and those that do not belong to God. Once the Antichrist is revealed, there's miracles all around him, and he's demanding that he is worshipped and this image of him is worshipped. That's when the mark of the beast is rolled out. And we're also told that anybody that refuses to worship him or take his mark is persecuted. In Daniel, we hear that the Antichrist has armies that are helping him desecrate the temple and do his evil deeds. It appears that the Antichrist will be occupying Jerusalem. This time period will be so horrible because the Antichrist is essentially going to wage war against Israel, against Christians, and anybody else that is not for him. Revelation 11:2 actually says that the nations or the Gentiles will be trampling the city for 42 months. After that, we hear about the 2 witnesses that are prophesying and sharing God's word and also participating in bringing judgments against the wicked Antichrist empire. We also hear that a woman is given the 2 wings of a great eagle and protected in the wilderness for this time period. Many people believe that that refers to the remnant of Israel. Jesus even gives a special warning to the people in that region, and he tells the people to flee whenever they see the abomination of desolation happen. And in verse 21, we're told that there will be great tribulation that will be unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and that it will never be equaled again. That's why when people say that all of this already happened in 70 AD, I can't agree. Now, this time will definitely be horrible, but the good news is that we are told that Jesus will defeat the Antichrist. We see glimpses of it in Daniel 7 and 8, in 2 Thessalonians 2, and in Revelation 19. We know that Jesus will return. He will rescue the remnant of Israel that has been horribly persecuted. He will come for his people, will be transformed, and we will rule and reign with him on earth in his kingdom for 1,000 years. So that's a really quick snapshot. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I can try to do some video replies. God bless you.